Welcome everybody to the Race Spec PS Pacific Tier 1 Saturday Endurance League, and we are here tonight at round 6 in Monte Carlo, the Monaco street circuit, the illustrious, the famous, tight, twisty 19 corner, high speed, close to the wall, seat in your pants action track. And with me tonight I have the one, the only Mr. Tent-Sandles. How are you doing, Tent?
I am doing great as always, and I'm always keen to be here, always keen to see what the boys are going to do. Tough track tonight. I'm just keen as always.
You're pumped up on the Super Dupers, I hear.
Yeah, the sugar's running through me at the moment. Ooh, a bit hyper.
Oh, Monaco. And most can't for wait thing that I'm waiting for is whether it's wet or dry, and straight away in the chat, the J, Mr. Weatherman, says it is fully dry. Ooh, I don't know what to think about that.
Well, fully dry around here, I think is probably a bit of a godsend. You don't really want it to be wet. It's already a tough track, but dry, I think it's, yeah, they're still going to have to struggle though with it.
Just fix that, apparently some small audio issues. And who's getting underway? A couple of cars heading out onto the track straight away, and I think strategy tonight is going to be fairly straightforward. It's just going to be softs, dry, just keep it alive, keep it out of the walls. Survival, I think, is going to be the name of the game, as first car on the track we have is Trikit.
Yeah, I think it's definitely handy to go out straight away, get a couple laps under your belt, and then probably try and do your last push laps. Just want to chill out a little, get used to the track.
Yeah, you know, get some bankers in, get a feel for it. Definitely, it's going to be all about getting into a rhythm, getting into that headspace. Pushing the limits, of course, but you don't want to push too hard too early, because yeah, it's as we know, endurance, it's a long race, it's a long haul, in it for the long haul, and you want to make it to the end of this race. We have 15 drivers tonight, quite a few unfortunately not been able to make it. Shout out to Mr. VSR Roscoe Arm, who is reserving today in the Ferrari, but yeah, missing quite a few of those drivers, some of those protagonists, such as BP, for example. And you know what, Tent? Take us around a lap of this lovely circuit.
Yeah, for sure. Trickhead. Alright, so Trickhead. Well, first corner, you just take the entire corner there, don't worry about it. Hopefully don't invalidate though. Very bumpy coming up here, and you can drift super wide through here. So he's kept it nice and tight, which is nice. Now you got to watch out with this huge bump that's right there. Can unstable the car, and you can lose it really easy. Now it's a nice slow spot through here. You got to. This is the slowest corner of the track here. Super slow, and it's just a bit frustrating sometimes. Now where are we going? We're going down to under the tunnel here. Now we're coming into one of the only real overtaking spots. Oh, I think he loses the rear and touches the wall just a little bit there. But takes that, still pretty nice. Wondering whether he's going to back out, or he seems to be keeping the speed up. He seems fine. But he seems to be understeering just a little. He might have a little bit of front wing damage. But he's... Oh, and he's definitely touched the wall there. Big snap there. Caught it pretty well, and I wouldn't be surprised if he goes straight into the pits. Yep.
Yeah, straight into the pit lane and banning that lap. Who is next on the track? I believe there is one of the the Mercedes on an out lap, and then one of the McLarens just coming across the line. It's going to be PRL State, who I think is going to be our first car. 1:11.3, setting the pace so far in this 18-minute long qualifying session, as now we see quite a few of the cars coming across the line. Rude, Banana Josh, all laying down a couple of times to get the session going. Yeah, already we've seen the first car on the track getting caught out a little bit with the walls and the traction, and you really want to probably be maximizing the downforce on your car. I'd imagine everyone is going to be pretty much going for that 11 wings, maximum downforce, maximum grip, maximum stability, because I think you really want to be going for what you're comfortable with on this track rather than trying to push the limits of the setups here.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like this track's going to go either two ways. It's either going to be everyone's just going for survival, they're not going to worry about their position, or they're going to be pushing and it's going to be complete chaos.
Yeah, Pleb's on a lap here. Saw a yellow flag there, but I think that is just the Aston Martin getting out of the way, and could be a little bit of an issue with traffic. Hey there, Gav, how are you doing? We are having a good time as a car in the on the runoff area there. Red flag invalidation there for Plebs. Unfortunately, I think that traffic sort of just unsided him a little bit into that section. It's a bit daunting if you're coming down into that braking point with a car just sitting there, as Karma, who comes across the line with a 109.9, and Ford there topping the timesheets with a 109.5. Speaking of Karma, he is going to be our interviewee of the day today, and we're going to be chatting to him in just a second and getting his thoughts and feelings on this track and how he's doing. And yeah, we're really looking forward to having a chat with him. We'll just let him get into the pit lane, and then we'll get him on board as we're just keeping an eye on the rest of the cars coming and setting the final laps. But I was just going to say about the traffic. With only 15 cars on track, traffic is not going to be as bad as it could be, but yeah, still could be an issue there. Plevs on his next lap in that Alpine there, hugging the wall on the exit of Mirabeau there.
Yeah, I have noticed, even though there is only 15, there still are a lot of spots where cars have just been getting really bunched up already, and it's been difficult to let cars through, obviously, with how tight this circuit is. So hopefully the boys can keep it out of the way of each other and not screw up anyone's laps.
Yeah, we're just right on board with Plebs for the last part of his lap as he goes purple through the second sector. A little bit of a lock-up into Raskas. You can lose quite a lot of time in that slow corner and really costing you locking up. But let's see what he has across the line with a 10.1. And we might take this moment as a lot of the cars heading into the pits to jump in with Karma. Let's see, Karma, hello, are you there, Karma?
I'm here. How are you?
Good. How are you doing? Excited?
No.
No. Oh no. I know. We seem to be very pumped up in the commentary box today. I don't know what happened. Maybe it's the super dupers we had before, but we're raring to go for this race.
Well, I'm just looking at the times, and I'm pretty happy with where I am at the moment.
Yeah, tell me about it. P2 at the moment. That's a really good job so far in this session.
Yeah, I must say, that was a banker lap.
Banker lap as well. Wow, fighting talk from this guy. And I do hear you're a bit impartial to street circuits, are you not?
Yeah, I'm pretty good at street circuits. Like Jeddah, Baku, Canada.
If you do say so
well,
yourself.
Canada's kind of a street circuit. It is.
Yeah,
but yeah, no.
Let's give it a street circuit, yeah.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about yourself. How long have you been racing in Race Spec for?
I started last season in season 5. I just did Sunday, and I filled in for like the Wednesday Sprint Cup, which they don't do anymore. But yeah, now I do Sunday, Tuesday, and endurance. So
yeah,
it's pretty full on.
Really stuck into it. That's great to see. And you're on a wheel?
Yeah, I'm on the Logitech wheel.
The G29, is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a very popular. For now, the other third person out of our interviews who is using that piece of kit. So obviously the G29 very popular amongst race spec racers. And how long have you been playing on the F1 games for?
This is probably my first proper game since 2012 or something, when I was playing when I was a kid. So this is my first one on wheel. But yeah, I haven't played in ages. I just got back into it, and yeah, picked it up pretty quick. So
you certainly have, because yeah, you've been going pretty well in this tier at the moment. And so, what are your sort of expectations as Rude gets really sideways coming out of the last corner? Expectations for this tier? What are you aiming for?
Well, I want to get top 5, but it's very hard. So we'll probably look at like a top 6, top 7, something like that. Be alright.
Yeah, some stiff competition out there, isn't there? Ford's looking pretty strong. Plevs, you got Ferrari Pros on a bit of a roll at the moment too. Yeah, tough crowd.
Yeah, they're very quick. Like I am I fluctuate with my pace. With some tracks I'm faster than I am at others, and it's just because I'm new. newer to the game. So a lot of the tracks that I played on Gran Turismo, for example, I know, like Monza and Spa.
Ah, yeah.
Like I pick them up quite easy. But
Favorite category on Gran Turismo to race?
Group 3.
Group 3, yes.
Love the Group 3 cars.
I believe you're a bit impartial to Group 3, aren't you too, Tent?
Very much so. It's always good fun when you hop in the Grid 3 car.
Yeah. And tell us a tell us a little bit about your helmet choice there, the orange.
I've always liked the Asimov pattern from CS:GO.
Oh yeah.
So I've gone with the orange, black, and I don't know if there's white in it, but it's like I've always liked the orange and black because it's also a bit of McLaren in there as well. So
your favourite team, no doubt, McLaren.
yeah, it is. Love McLaren.
Norris or Ricardo?
Ricardo, of course.
That was pretty easy, no hesitation there. And so you're just coming out on an out lap here, and you're going to take us around a lap of this circuit, aren't you?
Yeah, it's gonna be difficult, but we can do it. We can manage.
Yes, I knew that would happen straight away in the chat there. You know, we've got the interviewee on, and they're going to start shouting commentators curse at me any second now. But Karma, you're going to prove us wrong tonight, aren't you?
Hopefully, we'll see.
I'm sure you will. All right, as you're winding up to this, I will give you the microphone. You have the power. Take us through this 19-corner Monaco street circuit.
All right, let's go. This is gonna be hectic. All right, so we come up to turn 1. We want to go down to third gear. We want to slot it, almost cut the corner. Upshift quick fourth, go up the hill. I think this is Casino. We go down to fourth, roll around, get as close as you can to the wall. Brake again, just try and drag the car in. Upshift to fifth if you need. Brake hard, come down into second. Upshift to third, try and get the power down. Get down into first or second. Upshift quick second. Come right. Get into third, brake a little roll. And as we're exiting, oh, I almost hit the wall. Got the wheel spin down. It's alright. Still up a little bit. Just go flat all the way down, brake a tiny bit late. Try and cut as much as you can. Come across. Roll through that and get the power down as fast as you can. Flat through here. Down to fourth. Trying to get as right as possible. Brake early. Oh, slide a bit. Upshift to third. Try and drag the car in. Get the power down. I didn't get the power down good enough, so I couldn't improve, but I still did a 110.2.
You're still a legend. You're a legend. You made it all the way through. And Monaco, of all the tracks, one of the hardest tracks, you have taken us through a hot lap absolutely successfully.
My God. Oh, it's placed us at 9.5. What a lap. Oh, then 4 beats you.
with a 9.3. That's all right. You still got another run in you, and I'm sure you've got a bit of time there to improve, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, there's a little bit, where areas where you think improve?
I can improve at Casino, and I can improve Turn 1. As well as just through the whole second sector, I reckon, for any of my time.
Well, you got a 109.3 in you?
In spirit, yeah.
Well, we will wish you along well, and just any strategy, any tips and hints for yourself, or are you keeping your cards close to your chest for that?
Look, I've actually changed the tyre pressures to what they're not what I thought they were going to be. So a little hint there, but yeah, very, very much trying to keep that secret.
Oh, fair enough. All right, well, we'll leave you to it so you can focus and get that 109.3 that the spirit wants, and take that, everybody else who shouts at me for commentators curse, and we will hopefully. Thanks for giving us some insights, Karma, and hopefully we don't hear from you at all because there's no safety cars, but. You know what it's like around here, and we might catch up with you a little bit later on.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan. Hopefully there is no safety cars. I'll see my underfuel maybe.
Thanks once again.
All good.
All right, Tent, I hope you've been keeping an eye on what's been happening whilst we've been chit-chatting away with just under 4 minutes to go in this session. I think they're going to start coming out for their final runs in a sec.
Yeah, they will. The boys just changing positions as they do, getting in more laps. It's been pretty surprising. There's been a couple invalidations, but there hasn't been many, and only some slight wall touches. We haven't seen anyone fully DNF yet. So even though they're probably pushing as hard as they will, even before the race, like in quali, we haven't seen DNF. So maybe we might not see a safety car.
Indeedy. Yeah, I was getting a bit excited, Carl. I think it was probably me shouting into the mic. I'll put my little compressor up, and hopefully when I get excited in the race and shout, it won't blow your ears out. Aston Martin in P5, Mighty Wombat, he's doing a pretty good job here at the moment. Yeah, props shout out to him. The Ferraris are stern in P7 and P8, so I'm sure they're going to wanting to look at improving a little bit. Ferrari Pro on a streak at the moment. He's been parading his medals around with 4 wins in a row, not just in this tier, but mind you in some other ones. And Mighty Wombat on a lap at the moment, heading up the hill into Massenet here. And I did notice that on Karma's lap as he was commentating, he was right up against the wall going up the hill and up through Massenet. And I held my breath as he went around there. Were you watching that?
No, I don't know what happened, to be honest.
Well, it was a very strong lap, and yeah, sure, there was bits and pieces to fix up, but yeah, he was right up against the wall, Massenet, leaving nothing on the table up through that section. Mighty Wombat, a little bit of space to gain, probably around there. Yellow flag, I think it's just a slow car. We'll just stay on here with Mighty Wombat, see how he goes. He's down on his lap at the moment. I think it left a little bit of time on the table throughout the first couple of sectors, so yeah, I'm not sure if he's going to be able to. It does look like he's got a little bit of fuel left over, so I'm sure he'll be going again. Yes, I think everyone's going to be heading out for their final runs now. You can see all the cars coming through Sector 2 at the moment. Let's have a look and see what's going on here. Karma is heading out on his lap 2. Ferrari Pro looks like he's is that on an out lap also, so or is he on a flying lap? I think he's on a flying lap. Yes, these guys all heading out now, and on their final runs in this last part of the qualifying session, all of them, I believe, yeah, out on the soft tire. I did have a quick look at that earlier just to make sure. Scotty retired? I didn't see anything on the track. Ferrari Pro goes purple in Sector 2. Did you see anything with Scotty earlier on?
Yeah, Scotty just retired in the pits.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. Bit of an odd move there. Maybe he was pretty happy with that time. Didn't think he'd be going any quicker. Ferrari Pro across the line with the P4 with a 10 dead. Very close between him and Trikit. Who's going to be next across the line? The McLaren starting their lap.
Now.
Yeah, I think he's just winding onto his lap. You know what? Let's ride on board with Karma as he goes up the hill, heading up towards Massenet here. See how close he gets to that wall. Just quite hook up that apex there. He seems to be going slow, so he's not on a lap at the moment. And yeah, who else have we got here? Plev's just starting a lap also. Just couple of seconds left in the section, so it's going to be straight away just who's going to cross the line here. We'll just ride on Plebs a little bit more. Yep, he gets that hooked up nicely too as the timer ticks away. Trikid is done and dusted for the session with a 1:10. He's going to be first across the line. Let's actually ride on board with this Red Bull and see as it... No, that's in the pit line. Still the Ford here, just across the line there. Cannot improve on his time. Alex is also coming through now. Can he improve? Yes, 1:10.3. The Roscoe improves with the 1:10.2. Ferrari Pro in the pits, he's done. And I think Karma's going to be done too because he abandoned that lap. Ford's on a lap currently, heading down to the finishing line. He's got provisional pole at the minute, and he improves to get a 1:09.0. Absolutely banana. Josh has stacked it down at the Nouvelle chicane. Who have we got left? Plevs just on the lap coming around the corner now. Can he improve? Cross the line he goes. Cannot. Ford is currently and in provisional pole. Who's Jays is without a front wing, so he's not going to be going any quicker, and that's it. Ford there. Another commanding qualifying from him.
Yeah, 5/10 ahead of Plebs. That is a very ballsy lap to be able to do that around here in quali.
Wow, yeah, he didn't need to improve, but definitely showing he can and wanted to improve on that one. So yeah, good job by him. Plevs there in second place, a good half second off of Ford. But Karma, man of the hour, in P3 at the moment with a 1099, just in front of Ferrari Pro. So close between P3, P4 and P5 there. Jays looks like he tried to go on the medium there, so I wonder if we'll see a bit of split strategy with the medium and the soft. I wouldn't be surprised if we see some sort of safety car early on in this race.
Yeah, a couple of the guys ended up losing it there in the rear, as you saw Jays with the broken front wing. Banana Josh crashed out fully as well. So some boys, when they're really starting to push for that final lap, have made a couple mistakes and had some bigger incidents.
Yeah, but otherwise, nothing major happening in that quali session. You know, everyone making it through. A bit of a surprise there. Scotty retiring in the pits, not going for that final run. Do you reckon he is holding onto a spare set of soft for the race?
I think he is, and I applaud the decision. I think it's a pretty smart choice. Reckons there's going to be another late safety car, as there generally is in the endurance category here.
Yeah, starting to click on her. Do you have some inside information? Is that what that chuckle was for?
No, I don't have any inside information. I just noticed it and thought about it myself and was like, I may have done the same thing.
Yeah, I think that is a smart move there by Scotty. I wonder if there's any other guys who... but those softs will last quite a while. I mean, obviously, a one-stop would... You know, if it's doable, would be the way to go. Is there a reason we're being held in this screen? I wonder, as I start to...
Yes, I believe you do, because I have got on my screen here the formation lap.
Oh, that's not good, is it?
No.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Leave rejoin.
Yeah, I'm going to have to try that. We'll be back with you in a second. Clearly, I have an issue. Oh, my heart in my mouth then. I thought, I don't know why that was weird. It didn't load in, and now we're halfway through a formation lap. Quick, I've got to catch up. Tires. G-Force Ford, P1, Plebs in P2, all on the soft tire as they qualified. Karma in P3, Ferrari Pro in P4, Tri-Kid in P5, separating the two Ferraris on those even spots in the grid with Roscoe in P6, Mighty Wombat P7, Alex Pato P8, a little bit lower spot for him, Scotty P9 and P10 rounding off the top 10 with Bags. Also, both Aston Martins having a good qualifying. Now, of course, everybody else choosing to go onto that medium tyre of PRL Saint, FRL Jays, Banana Josh, CBFN Rude, both of the Red Bulls at the back of the grid there. Still running off our top 15 cars. There you go. How quick was that? I managed to get them all in before they hit the grid spots.
Beautifully done.
So, yes, they're just filing into the grid spots now. And... yeah, back of the grid going with mediums, front of the grid all stuck on those soft tyres, so yeah, going for that alternate strategy. So it's all going to depend on how we get with the safety car. 2 lights, 3, 4, 5, and off they go. This is a terrible camera angle, so I'm going to change that and see how we ride down into the first corner. And the Ferrari making a move already on Karma, gets round the outside into Sandivot. Excellent move there. Karma's going to try and look and see if he can try and reclaim that position. Not going to happen. Plebs also having a look at Ford into the first couple of corners. The cars very close together. No incidents in Sandivot, although we have a slow-moving Red Bull of Silderfort at the back there. And Jeff advice being to be careful in the Sandevot has paid off, as we see an AlphaTauri down the inside of the hairpin. Excellent move there, trying to get as many positions done at the start. He's on that soft tire. Bags, I'm not sure what happened to him. He's down. He must have lost out going up the hill, but trying to regain those positions on that soft tire.
Yeah, that was Silderfort, who made a mistake off the start. He seemed to get too much wheel spin, wasn't able to catch it, unfortunately, went into the wall and lost his front wing.
He's lost his front wing. Oh, that's not good. He's going to be straight into that pits and praying for a safety car. But otherwise, we got a pretty clean run through there. So that's great to see. All cars still in this race. Everyone taking care in Sandevot. I'm going to see how many times I can squeeze that in there. As Banana Josh down the inside into Raskas. Gets through on Bags. Not having a great time. I wonder if he's got some damage, because he seems to be a bit slow moving at the moment. And that has allowed the gap to open up between the rest of the cars. Gaps opening up all up and down the field now, and the top group of P1 down to P5 of a tri-kit, they're still holding in that 1 second gap.
Yeah, they're still pretty tight knit, but it's going to be difficult to get any overtakes from here on out, really.
Yeah, even with the DRS, it's still a tricky. You're going to have to either wait for mistakes or really line those moves up. And so, yeah, it's going to be all about those medium runners just keeping up with the softs as best as they can. As you see, our first penalty already, Silderfort. Not a great way to start off this race for him. Hopefully he can get into that aforementioned rhythm and get on his way.
Yeah, not too many position changes. Alex going up 2 and Bigizzle losing down 3, and then just a spread of a couple guys going up and down 1 position.
Yeah, Bags just there forward posting the fastest time, showing he has the pace out in the front. Ghosting, what's going on here with Banana Josh and Bags? Is he going to try and drive straight through him? I don't think that's going to work. Bags going, Banana Josh going defensive. Bags wanting that position back. He's on that soft tire. He's got to make use of it. He's got to get past, because that's going to really hamper his race, being stuck behind a medium runner. Saint all over the back of Scotty, a couple of tenths off this, off the back of the rear wing of the AlphaTauri as he gets a little bit sideways, coming out of Mirabeau is the one I was looking for. Yes, and yeah, just settles back in behind him as they go through the tunnel section. Yeah, could be in for a bit of a slog today, I think, round here. It's just a tricky track to overtake around here. So narrow, and it's so easy to get it wrong. They just got to get into a rhythm, get into a headspace, and just pump in those laps, clean laps. As what's happened in the background here, Banana Josh and Rude. I think Banana Josh probably just made a mistake. He was in front of Bags, and that has, of course, helped Bags out a huge deal now, because he doesn't have that medium run. No, what's happened here? Banana, has he stacked it at the swimming pool chicane? Because it certainly looks like yeah, we lost Banana Josh. Unfortunately, did not catch what happened to that. But yeah, that's a real shame. Just 4 laps in.
Hot tyres from that spin wouldn't have done him great. Probably just pushed a bit too hard on him. I'm not too sure whether the CBF Rude and Banana actually had contact there. The camera angle wasn't great for it, unfortunately, but it was a very quick and awkward spin, so it wouldn't surprise me if he actually had some contact.
Yeah, maybe looking for a move there, which can be done, but you gotta get right up alongside, have a compliant adversary, and yeah, really put your nose in there well and truly to get the job done. And Jay's tucking back into the slipstream of PRL Saint, who is making his way up through the grid at the moment on that medium tyre.
Yeah, a couple of the guys getting that chicane there a little bit wrong, but it seems like it's been alright. Haven't seen any penalties just yet.
Yeah, a couple of easy places to pick up penalties, such as turn 1 Sandevot, and also down into the Nouvelle chicane and on the exit, the swimming pool section. But otherwise, you know, fairly easy to keep it in check and not get too many penalties. Really, the walls, which are the main issue on this track, as they're going to give you more than a penalty for touching those walls. But yeah, this is back this pack having a little battle here for P9 with the two AlphaTauris forming a sandwich for this McLaren of PRL Saint. I noticed a couple of PRL names here propping up. Saint and Mighty Wombat both from the PRL League.
Yeah, I've also seen Aussie Blakes recently join at the same time.
Whoa!
Oh!
PRL Saint's
They've
gone
got
around and
around.
gone into that wall. Yeah. Very easy to do. Just turn in a little bit too much. Tap that front wall. Round he goes. Seemed to be a little bit of understeer there, but I think he somehow got away with that. I think he must have had tyre contact on there because he hasn't got any wing damage, so that's quite impressive.
Yeah, pretty lucky there. You can hopefully no floor damage either, but he seems fine.
Yeah, good he gets going. Only losing a small amount of time from that. Roscoe hustling the back of this Mercedes. Mercedes versus Ferrari of Alex Pato just in front of him. And yeah, we'll see if Roscoe can make any kind of headway through this pack. We've also got Mighty Wombat queuing up behind him as well, as we start to see a few various gaps opening up around the pack depending on people's pace.
Yeah, I have seen that a couple drivers have underfueled. We've only got 3, which are Trickett, Alex, and Silderfort. Bit interesting. Maybe they predict a safety car. Haven't had one yet, so hopefully they're good at fuel saving.
Yeah, I'd imagine that's a fairly safe assumption that there will be a safety car at some point. So, I mean, I probably would have put my money on that too. How much time it gains you from underfueling, unknown. But yeah, if we get a couple of safety cars, I mean, this fuel will be sky high, won't it?
Yeah, for sure.
And Roscoe, they're sporting the red helmet on the red Ferrari, looking pretty dapper there. And yeah, just not close enough down into the first corner. As you see a position change. Alpha Tower is changing position. That's quite interesting. I wonder if there's a mistake from Scotty or something. He's not really going to want to be behind his teammate, considering he's on the soft tyre, and that soft tyre should be still going for plenty more laps. So not ideal for him as we see Bags coming into the pit lane. Did he have a wing change? Unsure. Yeah, so yeah, Scotty that's probably not what he wanted there, being behind his teammate. Yeah, as they done 6 laps of this. Yeah, as Bags goes onto that fresh medium tyre. I mean, it's too early, I think, to talk about going to the end on any kind of tyre. Still early days in this race, but currently our closest on-track battle here with Roscoe and Mighty Wombat also just in this little 3-pack for P6. Oversteer at the swimming pool, says Banana Josh. Yeah, we figured. Unfortunate way. Only a couple of laps in. Yeah, commiserations, laddie. Yep. Yeah, it just looks like it's difficult to overtake around here with that DRS. Just absolutely no chance for Roscoe to get close. Alex has got plenty of energy as well to defend. Very easy to save that energy around here. PRL saying they're picking up a time penalties. You slowly start to see those time penalties trickling in.
Yeah, the boys just settling down, as you said. The gaps haven't really opened up all that much just yet, but I'm sure they'll continue to open up.
Yeah, also Karma, our interviewee of the day, he is hot on the back of Ferrari Pro, who, well, he's fully well entitled to do that. He's been stacking those medals on his name in the Discord. 4 medals he's up to, 4 gold medals. I wonder how long you can have your name if he's going to keep adding them up until it's pretty much his name is just medals. But yeah, parading his victories around like a, yeah, you got to enjoy the victories, right?
For sure, but I think it would be a bit funny if whoever manages to take his win streak from him, they put a little medal next to hit theirs.
Yeah. Yeah, Carmen getting great exit out of there, just dropping back a little bit, but nothing has too much stress as we see Scotty coming into the pit lane. Do you not... seems... Oh, for a wing change. Damage for Scotty. No, yes, that would be why he was running a little bit slow there. I'm sure we'll see plenty of those pit stops coming in for wing changes throughout this race, and I hope the teams have brought plenty of spare wings. I wonder how much cost they're going to rack up in damages today.
Sure if it was me, I'd make it a good cool meal.
Yeah, they're not cheap, those front wings. Even just the snapping the end plate off there, that's a bit of a costly mistake. Bit of a queue going on here behind the Williams of Tri-Kid. We've got a couple of four cars stacked up behind him. Doesn't really seem like he's holding anybody up, but they're sort of just slowly, bit by bit, decreasing that gap as we see a lovely shot through Raskas there. Have you been to Monaco, Tim?
No, I haven't, unfortunately. I'd love to go one day, but I reckon it'd be, as they say, one of the best probably Grand Prix just to ever go to.
Black Moon, have you been to Monaco? Oh, actually, I have. Yes, I have been to Monaco. But I have not been to the Grand Prix. Shout out to the PLL boys from Robert Barrett. I have been to Monaco. The Grand Prix was not happening at the time, but it was really, really cool. We drove around the whole circuit just in a road car, and that was awesome. Just, I mean, resisting the urge to hoon a little bit through the tunnel is quite difficult, but definitely an experience. And I tell you what is an experience is walking up the hill from Saint-Devote to all the way up to Massenet. That hill is so steep. Oh my god. It's a good workout going up that hill in the sunshine there, and so you really find from the camera angles just do not do justice of the elevation change. I mean, for those guys that sit in the cockpit cam, you can really see. Well, you can't see anything; you just see the sky. Really, from that angle. For fellow cockpit cam users, Alex just chopping away to that gap to Tri-Kid, and just cuts the inside of Saint-Devote, picking up a penalty for his misdemeanor. As that gap's just opening up a little bit to the Ferrari behind him. But yeah, Monaco, very, very cool. We sort of wander around the casino, all fancy and you can just sit there in Casino Square and you just see all the rich people rocking up in their fancy cars just all day. It's a bit of a sight.
Sounds very awesome. Sounds like I need to be planning a trip.
Yep, 100%. And the yachts, don't even talk to me about those million dollar yachts. Wow. So, strategy. What does Alex do? A bit of, as we see, puff of smoke and a lock up from the Mercedes. How can he you gotta sort of put the mental pressure on the car in front, don't you? You just gotta try and push him, prod him, try into a mistake, get up close, and just apply the pressure and make a mistake. From a fellow racer, Tent, what can he do in this situation?
Oh, it's very tricky. As you said, I just sit there behind him constantly. Maybe if there's any opportunities, I wouldn't go for the overtake, but I'll poke my nose in and just kind of be like, "Hey, I'm here. You're gonna get nervous now," and just shake him a little, and then maybe look for an undercut.
The old switcheroo. I mean, it's pretty hard to get one of those going, really, because it's just so easy to defend. As we see a couple of cars heading into the pit lane, and Karma seems to have a pretty good run on the Ferrari. I don't know if he's sort of dropped off pace-wise, but he really got up to the back of him here. Not going to be close enough for a move into the Novell chicane, as there's a lock-up from the car in head, and Karma almost getting very close to the rear of that Ferrari, and it's sort of just caught him off guard a little bit, and altered his line out of that, and a bit of a brush with the wall there. Don't want to be doing that too often, but he's caught right up. That Ferrari struggling has gone wide into he's going into the pits, wide into Raskas, and that's allowed Karma up into P3, and I wonder if we're going to see a few more cars heading into the pit lane. Hopefully that Ferrari didn't take, he's got damage as a front wing change for the Ferrari. Notches up his first wing change. I wonder if that was the reason he was coming into the pits there from an earlier misdemeanor.
Yeah, very unfortunate. Then he just had Karma pop up in the inside of him, so he just had to stop and try and turn into the pits then. So he lost even more time because of that.
Yes, Robert, he licked the stamp and he sent it down the inside Karma. We love to see that, and we are following him today, so we'll be keeping a very close eye on his race and see his progress back up to where he started, back up to P3 due to that Ferrari pitting. Can he close the gap to the cars in front? That's what he'll be looking to do at this current stage.
Now, I have just heard a little bit of insider information.
Oh!
Karma has damage.
Oh, that is not ideal for him. So we'll keep an eye on those deltas, and yeah, I wonder what he's going to do. Will he pit? I mean, his pit stop will be coming up fairly soon to change onto the medium tyre. Can he hold out till then? That's the question. Another lockup from Bags in front as PRL Saint hounding the back of. He's locking up left, right, and the pace difference here at the moment is huge between the McLaren and the Aston Martin.
Yeah. Now, with Karma having damage, he doesn't seem to be off the pace too much. He seems pretty good. And it being around Monaco, does he really need to change that front wing?
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe not. You say the pace is not too different, but I just have noticed this lap 7 tenths lost to the car in front and about 3 tenths gained to the car behind. So that might, I mean, it might be indicative of the pace of the car in front, but keep an eye on that. But yeah, maybe he doesn't need to. Well, I'm sure he would want to change the front wing when he comes in the pits, right? You don't want to really be sitting. You don't really want to be any kind of disadvantage around here that might increase your chances of having another brush with the wall, because we do find that does tend to happen. You know, if you've got a bit of damage, sort of makes the car a bit more difficult to drive, and that's certainly what you do not want around here. Fairly easy to keep the car behind, but it's just going to make your day a bit more unpleasant, that extra wing damage. I think, I personally would be pitting under the pit stop. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I think I would. At the end of the day, I think I'd be like, all right, it's not worth.
Yeah, and it's going to cost you, you know, an extra couple of seconds in the pits at the end of the day. I mean, we're only 15 laps into this endurance race, so still a long way to go. In the grand scheme of things, it might not make too much a difference. Scotty looking for a position here for P9 on the back of Rude on those slightly older medium tyres. Can he get anything done through the pit straight? Nah, it's just no one seems to. I think everyone's running pretty high downforce levels, and no one so far seemed to have any kind of speed straight line advantage that I've seen. Speeding in the pit lane, Saint. He's in the pits already. Is that pit and quit? Oh, that's a shame, because I didn't think he was going that badly.
Yeah, it is a bit of a shame. Don't really like to see it, but there's not much we can do about it.
Yeah, that's one McLaren down. Unfortunately, leaves Karma to solo the McLaren flag for us today. Wonder if I mean, he was about to be coming up to be lapped by the front runner. Some, you know, maybe that influenced his decision. If you're a lap down, what just happened there? Was there an actual overtake just then? I just accidentally missed. It did look like it. Silderfort getting past Bags through the tunnel section, I believe. So good job there. I think we're going to have to be counting overtakes this race, like actual real on-track overtakes, not just through pit stops. You'll probably be able to, well, hopefully we'll be able to count them on more than one hand, but currently only on the one hand are we counting on-track overtakes. There is a bit of a gaggle of cars here for P4 in close contention. Again, still stuck behind Tri-Kid. Alex is still in there. Roscoe and the Aston Martin of Mighty Wombat all in this little group that we've got going on here. The other Ferrari Pro having pitted at the back here in clean air. And yeah, Plev's seemingly not got an answer for Ford in the lead at the moment. But Scotty also hustling the back of Rude. Another on-track battle here. They're sort of stuck around in pairs, and then whoa, down the inside, outside, inside, as Alex gets past Tri-Kid.
Yeah, it was a pretty basic move. They got very close to each other as Tri-Kid squeezed him into the wall a little, but there wasn't no touch of the cars or no touch of the wall, and they come out pretty clean.
Absolutely no lag or any issues looking from Alex's end, which is good to see. And yeah, this pack has closed up a little bit more in this lap. This is going to help Ferrari Pro just sort of close that gap down to these guys. Get some sort of undercut. I wonder if Trikid's tyres are starting to go a little bit off now, as you see Roscoe getting very close to the back of him too, right up to the rear through the Nouvelle chicane. To back what an absolutely terrifying corner is ahead through the swimming pool section. Yeah, it does look like Trikid's struggling a little bit at this moment. Be surprised if we see him peeling into the pits, and Mighty Wombat's right at the back of this. Yep, into the pits. There we go. That's Roscoe's still going to have DRS here, so I don't think it's going to make it very easy for Wombat to get past. But look how much time Trikid was costing them. Alex pulled that 2-second gap already after like about half a lap from these guys. So yeah, that was definitely holding them up at that stage.
Yeah, Trikid also having some front wing damage there, getting that changed while he was in the pits. So
that'll be the answer for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, just those little. It does make a big difference. Might not be as bad on other tracks, but in Monaco, you just really do not want any damage to the car. And so this is going to make it just really difficult. Struggle town. And this group now, Trikid has come out just in front of this little pack here. It's just turned into a little trio of Rude and Scotty. Hoping, Robert, hoping there is no porpoising in F1 2022 at this track, and I hope there is no either. I wonder if that'll be a thing in next year's game, porpoising. I presume everybody knows what porpoising is at this stage.
Yeah, I would also presume that. Alex Pato coming into the pits as well to put on a fresh pair of mediums.
And same with Wombat too, also in the pit lane. I'm just going to keep an eye on this little battle, see if it gets a little bit juicy. Wow, Scotty getting a bit sideways through the swimming pool section. Definitely not a, definitely a bit of a. I mean, most of the track's a bit scary to lose the rear end, as we see Rude struggling for grip out of Raskas. Also, Scotty's going to be very close to the back, but not close enough as they head into Sandoval.
Yeah. Now, I do want to mention something about porpoising. Now, with the porpoising, it will, if it is in the game, it will be extra tricky for the people who use cockpit cam, because first of all, they've already got bigger tyres and they got the slipstream things on the top of them, so it's already going to be hard enough to see. But then all of a sudden their camera starts shifting up and down. Ooh, that's going to be tough.
Are you making a dig at me by any chance?
I'm just trying to hint at you that, hey, maybe T-cam might be the way to go, unfortunately.
I'm cockpit cam till the day I die. I'm sticking to my guns. But yes, that had occurred to me. I think, who is it? I think Ricardo or a few of the other... Wow, Scotty just taking a little bit too much curb through there, picking up a 3-second time penalty. That had occurred to me, a few of the drivers mentioning that visibility is even worse with the wider, bigger tyres. And also the little what are they called? The little winglets over the brakes, the little aero surfaces. That also, and yeah, the bouncing. That's the last thing you need is porpoising in the car as well. But I'm not sure how the Codys are going to be able to code that one in. I don't think. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see, Robert. We'll see. We'll see if there's porpoising. But it does look super uncomfortable. And I thought that the Ferrari was the one that was supposed to be the least porpoising. I wonder if we're going to see a bit of team orders here, as Ferrari Pro having did Roscoe just go into the wall then? But seems to relinquish the position fairly easily. Don't overdo it through here. Feel like that might have been a warning for Ferrari Pro over that chicane there. But yeah, position switcheroo for the Ferrari boys. Wouldn't surprise me if that was a bit of team orders there, as Ferrari Pro on that fresh and medium tyre doesn't want his teammate holding him up. But yeah, it looks super uncomfortable, right? The bouncing in that Ferrari, that slow-mo shot of Leclerc, I believe it was, going down the straight in Spain. Bouncing up and down, and yeah.
Yeah, Roscoe's come into the pits, front wing change as well, so he did get damage from that little wall tap.
So I'm not surprised he let his teammate through. Did you see Scotty just having a little bit of a sneaky look into Tabak then? Because there's some big balls to send it into Tabak and pull the move off. Not only that, but he seems to be just getting ever so closer. So you see that Ferrari coming out of the pit lane there, ever so closer to Rude in that Red Bull, but just not close enough. And he's got plenty of energy as Rude there. Scotty being very aggressive with his energy, just can't find a way through.
Yeah, that's just going to be the trend for the rest of this race. Really, just can't get through.
Luckily, I think Red Bull have lots of money in the bank with that new Oracle sponsor there. How much was that deal? Was that 150 million reported? Because they're going to need a lot of those new front wings. As Ford, our race leader, has just boxed for a medium set of tyres. See if Plevs continues on. Karma also into, yep, we're going to see a couple of pits. Everyone now pretty much on that medium tyre. Front wing change for Karma. May as well get it changed, right, in the pits. Just get that done, and I think you're going to reap the rewards with pace return after changing for that front wing instead of being on the older one.
Yeah, damage. For sure. Wish Cody's would just update that graphic for that front wing change, because they take it off and then there's still a front wing, and they put a front wing on a front wing. It's just doesn't look great.
Yeah, it's a bit sloppy, isn't it? Especially when you consider the fact that this is what they use for esports too. Yeah, it's not great, is it?
No.
Roscoe, they're joining the penalty club. Let's have a little quick squeeze at what penalties we've got going here. Most 3 seconds, couple of 6 seconds with the Jays and Bags, and Alex 2. 6 drivers without a penalty, so that's half the field with and half the field without. Could make a difference later on in the race. As we say, we lose another a lever of our penalty-free drivers there. Karma picking up a 3 second. Yeah, could make a difference in the end. Could make a difference. 500 meters. What's that? Flaming Midnight. 500 meters. 500 meters. What? What do you mean, laddie? Scotty still on the back of Rude. I think he's going to be pretty sick of the rear wing of that Red Bull by the end of this race.
Yeah, for sure. Well, at least he hasn't gotten super frustrated or anything yet. He's trying to keep it clean. Doesn't want to make a silly move that could end pretty bad.
Plevs also coming into the pit lane, changing onto that medium tyre this lap too. Scotty having a little look. Rude moving a little across to defend, but not close enough. Sort of, as we were talking about earlier, just applying that pressure. And the pressure is going to be up for Scotty also, because he's got Roscoe behind him on 2-lap-old fresh medium tyres due to wing changes. Just a little bit out of position. He is also going to be wanting to get past this little pack here and not get held up too much by these guys. I think Rude, either with damage or just on those older medium tyres, definitely looks like he's holding this pack up at this current stage.
Yeah, for sure. It'll be interesting to see if we do see any actual position changes through there, but Roscoe's got a bit of a job ahead of him, being on those fresh tyres with 2 worn medium runners in front of him that are going to be out for a fair while longer. He has to try and get through them as quick as possible.
Again, a look into Tabak, and he's pretty much just pushing the car along. There's a yellow flag just up ahead. I believe that was the Aston Martin. Potentially making a glance for the wall, but he's right up through the through Raskas, pushing the Red Bull. Is he going to be close enough to make a move now down into turn 1? He's going to wishing he was close enough, just not quite close enough, unfortunately, for Scotty there. It's just, he's going to start getting a little bit frustrated, I think, stuck behind that Red Bull. Roscoe also going to be getting involved in this little battle too. Karma, let's just mention him, he's half a second off the back of Tri-Kid too, so there's a couple of on-track battles to be keeping an eye on. Scotty, look how close he is to the back of that. And Tent-Sandles is not racing because he's commentating with me. You can try and prize him away, but I'm going to hold on to him very dearly because I absolutely value his co-commentary at this endurance race. It's a tough stint. It's a long race, and I find his presence absolutely invaluable. 500 million. Ah, not 500 meters, the Oracle deal. 500 million! I thought it was only 150. That's a ridiculous amount of money.
500 mil. Jesus, that is, yeah, that's astonishing.
Isn't that more than they're allowed to spend? What's the cost cap?
I'm not too sure. Maybe, I think they're still allowed to spend money on facilities and stuff, aren't they?
Yeah.
It could be going into new wind tunnels and stuff, because, well, probably their engine program or something.
Yep, this battle still continues, still rages on through this next lap. These guys so close together. Just you got to give it to Rude though. He is not faltering under this pressure. He is lapping that pressure up, soaking it up, and he's done a great job so far, keeping Roscoe behind. And you know what? That's probably also helping his teammate catch up to the back of this pack too. I should try and keep an eye on these multiple battles at the same time. I don't want to miss anything because on-track action at a premium around here. On-track overtaking, I should say. Karma, let's have a look at him. Can he make a move on Tri-Kid coming around through this last sector? See if he can get a good run coming down the straight now. Seemingly getting a very nice run, but not close enough coming into the first corner. Scotty gets a bad exit onto that curb, and even Roscoe having a little bit of a look-see coming up through here. Roscoe gets a great exit running. He's going to have a look up the hill, and yeah, Scotty just did he make contact with the wall, I wonder?
I don't believe he did. I think he just kind of pulled over and let him through, not where going side by side through there.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a scary one going side by side up that hill. Maybe he has also thought maybe Roscoe can. He's on fresher tire. Maybe Roscoe can do some damage in front. Give the reins to him. Maybe they'll have a little battle, and Scotty can sort of get in on that. And that has held them up a little bit, and it's allowed his teammate to grab on the back of that. And we'll just keep an eye on this a little bit coming through here. Just make sure there's no. Yes, Roscoe's looking super hot through here. Thoughts on Porsche when they power the Red Bull in a couple of years? What do you reckon, Tent?
I reckon it's awesome. I reckon it would be awesome to see another manufacturer in the engine side of F1, and hopefully other teams also have the option to maybe, go with Porsche a little. But Porsche, yeah, they used to race and to fly back in the day, so I'm happy to see them back.
Yeah, I think that'll be great. I think it'll add that extra variety, right? Roscoe again having a look up the hill, but has to back out of that one. Ooh, that could have been a excellent move there from him, but they're just deciding he's not quite close enough. Let's just hold on to one more lap through here and just wait for a slightly better opportunity. You don't want to risk it too much because into the wall, and it could be a quick exit for you if you make a slight miscalculation coming up the hill there. Where does it say Porsche are coming and linking to? Well, there's nothing concrete, but there's some strong rumors that they're going to be coming in as an engine manufacturer in 2026. I've been seeing quite a few around, but you know what it's like. There's usually, if there's smoke, there's usually fire somewhere, so we would not be surprised to see that. And we're talking, I guess, more about we'd love to see another engine manufacturer in Formula 1. I think that would be great. Add some variety in there, throw a bit more fire into the mix. Yellow flag. Is that one of the Mercedes, I believe? Can Roscoe get a move up the hill? He's going to have a look again. This time he's not backing out. He pushes the car wide and gets the move done. A little bit messy up through there. He just sort of drifted wide, understeered up through Massenet. But, I mean, yeah, I don't know if I'd try and hang it round the outside of Massenet, to be honest, from Rude's position. Aggressive, yeah, but maybe fairly fair, I would say.
Yeah, well, as I said, with Roscoe being on those fresh mediums, he'll be wanting to get through those guys as quick as possible. So
Yeah, Scotty also having a look. Scotty down the inside in the Novell chicane, dives down the inside and gets the job done through here. Yeah, I think Rude's really struggling now for pace, isn't he? Oh, he's got into the wall. No, Jays has also gone into the back of Rude. Makes a mistake. Oh, no, there's going to be wing changes happening left, right, and center, and that is not good. I'm sure I saw some carbon fiber coming off of Jay's car. Yeah, I can see the end plates missing there. I would not be surprised if they both dive into the pits. That is a disaster for Jays on that hard tire. He was definitely going to be hoping to going long, and that has messed his strategy up completely. How are you doing, Body, in the chat there?
yeah, so 3 drivers into the pits now. Oh, Alex Pato retiring in the pits. He did have that incident that you saw earlier was him. So he's just decided to call it quits.
Yeah, I think he's been lapped as well, so he's a whole lap down. So if there is a safety car, it's game over. Unfortunately, but I mean, all the guys now, if they finish, they've got points. So I don't really see the need to retire. Yeah, sure, you've got a bit of a sort of yellow flag there coming up the hill. I'm not sure. I know it's a bit of a slog to the end, but I'm not sure I see the need to retire. Now we have less to talk about, guys, as well. There's less drivers, so I'm putting the spotlight on you guys who retired. But that's all right. We'll think of something. And Karma gets through on Trikid there. He's on those older 12-lap old medium tires. Through Karma up to P4.
Yeah, so that yellow flag that you saw up the hill there, that was CBF Rude coming out of the pits. When he came out of the pits, he seemed to lost the rear and had a half spin and, yeah, ghosted out.
Oh, yeah, on that hard tyre. Yeah, a bit of lack of temperature as he goes up. I would imagine Scotty changing wing too. Don't think that was a pit stop he wanted to do. A little bit early for those medium tyres, but I think people are just... It doesn't really matter, you know. They don't want damaged wings. They want fresh wings. Keep it out of the wall. Doesn't matter what tire. We'll think about the strategy in the tire later. Just put on another set of tires and get a clean wing. Money, no objection. Red Bulls in the pits. Looks like they might have. See what was I just saying about fresh front wings?
Yeah.
More and more.
Yeah, both front ring changed there. Obviously, Rude must have lost it when he came out of the pits and had that spin. And Silverfoot, I'm not too sure when he lost his.
Yeah, that's definitely opened up a lot of the gaps now. So you guys in the chat, you got to entertain us. But just before we go on to the next topic, let's take a look at the replay. What do we have here? We have not the replay that I wanted. Hopefully it'll switch. No, that's not worked at all, has it? Oh well. My bad. I was hoping. That's strange why they didn't save. Okay, back to Porsche. Let's talk about Porsche again. As we see Jay's coming into the pit lane now again. Didn't he just change onto that? Yes, he did. I hope he's not going to retire. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. Another front wing change. That was the cause for the pit stop. Yes, Race Spec, just for those that don't know, Race Spec, we score all the way down to P15. So all these drivers, if they make it home, they are scoring points today. And I think that's the key point at the minute, is making it home. Right on the edge of that pit exit line. Don't want to be wandering across that, picking up unnecessary penalties. Porsche. Yeah, I think it'd be great to see another engine supplier into the sport, especially I guess with Honda sort of on the retreat.
Yeah. Oh, yellow flag.
That's Rude in the pit lane. I think he's retired.
It's unfortunate. I also just saw Trickard smack the wall pretty good there. He also might have some front wing damage now.
Seems okay, but the game could well be lying to us.
Yeah.
And I was going to segue exactly that, Flaming Midnight. You picked me to the point. I was literally about to segue to Andretti as well. Yellow flag. Is that coming out of the pit lane, I believe? Probably just... Oh, that's not good. I see 2 Red Bulls on the track. and I can only look at one Red Bull.
Yeah.
Are you able to spectate him, Tent, or?
No, I can't, unfortunately. So he's retired in the pits, and then maybe the AI has decided to drive out.
Well, it does say he's DNF'd, so
Could
yeah,
be
odd
maybe
one
for
there.
a stop to pull over.
Yeah, we'll
Is it coming to a stop now?
we'll have a look at Bags here, who's just gonna be. He disappeared before he. I'm guessing that's a bit of an odd one there. Yeah, Andretti, and did you see the little rumor as well flowing about the Renault? Being,
No.
Renault powered Andretti, I saw.
Okay.
Which is interesting.
Would make sense. It'd probably be the cheapest engine supplier to come in with.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Obviously, I'm sure Renault would want another team using their engines. You know, it's extra data they can get from multiple teams running their engines, because obviously they're the only ones currently using the Renault power. Gone are the days of the Red Bull using Renault. So I think that'll be great. I think it'd be great to see another team on the grid. I think everyone's so used to 20 cars on the grid that we've forgotten that back in the day there used to be many more teams. See the Red Bull changing another wing. They must have an infinite supply of Red Bull wings in that garage there. Pit crew definitely earning their pay today down at Red Bull. And I think it'd be great to see. Why was there a yellow? It's probably just lapping a car. And yeah, Andretti in as well. I think it'd be great. And plus, that's another 2 spots on the grid for more drivers. And because there's so many drivers waiting in the sidelines, so much great talent that we just can't fit on the grid.
Yeah, I would love. Yeah, as you said, you'd love to see Andretti's team in F1, but I do kind of understand the other reason why they don't really want him, because at the moment we're not. Does he have the financial backing? Is the team going to be sticking around for a long time and everything like that? That's all the concerns that are really the main issue at the moment.
Yeah, and obviously there's the big Haas question mark. At the
Yeah.
moment, I mean, not even mentioning. Oh, that's a Red Bull that's gone around there. Gets going again. Hopefully he's not taking damage straight away. Oh no, the end plate's missing. The right end plate. He's just been in the pits. Oh no, this is still the fort. We believe in you. Don't retire. You can keep going. You can take this home to the end. There's a good chance as well that there's plenty more people going to drop out, and you could actually score some good points as well. I mean, we're not even halfway yet, and we've lost 4 drivers, 11 remaining. There's still plenty of time for other drivers to lose it, and you could default yourself up pretty high up the grid, I reckon.
Yeah, well, he's in P11. He's doing pretty, he's still going to get some alright points at the end of the day. The only issue is he has to complete 90% of the race to actually get those points. So all the other guys who retired in the pits before won't actually get their points, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, I think that's fair. I think that's fair. They, we don't like to see pit and quit. That's not good sportsmanship. And you may be out of position, you may have no chance of catching up, but there's a certain principle to finishing the race, so we don't generally like to see that.
Yeah.
Oh, Alex apologising for his pit and quit. Apparently he was feeling very ill, so good job on him for making it most of the way, getting as far as he did in his condition that it may be. So we'll retract our angst against Alex, as he has appropriated a real excuse.
Yeah. Hopefully he's doing alright. Hopefully it's not the corona that's going around.
Yeah, hopefully not. Let's just mention Ford. We haven't really talked about him. He's just had a quiet race, plugging away. He's all in his lonesome at the front, but he's not Don't you say it in the chat, because I know you're about to say it. He's not had any incidents, and yeah, he's just having a clean, consistent, strong race so far.
Yeah, I think he's played the race pretty well at the end of the day. He's pushed hard in quali, got the P1 that he wants, and then just from there, it's just you got to chill out. You just got to be relaxed, calm, and just make sure that you limit all your mistakes as best as possible.
Well, I guess he's got it all to lose, really. He's got a big gap down to P2, and it seems to be extending that one too, also. And you'd certainly, yeah, like he certainly wouldn't want to do anything silly. Just bring it home, really. I knew you were going to say that. No, we don't believe in the commentator's curse here at Race Spec Endurance. There's no such thing here. It might exist in other tiers and other categories, but it certainly doesn't exist in Endurance Fly Make Midnight. We laugh at the commentator's curse. We flaunt the commentator's curse, or I do at least, anyway.
Yeah, I was going to mention, look at Karma's position, but I'm like, wait, if I say that and then he ends up binning it or something, I'm going to look good.
Those guys in the well, look, they're all going great. I mean, yeah, we made some comments about Silderfort changing his wing almost, quite a few times, but 38 laps in, this is over 50% maths. No, not quite 50% race distance yet, but pretty much there. This is a normal race length that people would be racing at in any league. But we're special in endurance. We do 100%, and we like pure pain. So that is why we're doing Monaco at 100% endurance. And you know what? Suck it up, guys, because it could have been worse. It could have been raining. Could have always been worse.
Wouldn't jinx him because we've got Baku next week, so it could be raining there.
Well, I was about to say, let's bring up the tracks very quickly, guys, for you. We got, for some people might consider it pure pain. I mean, we had Saudi Arabia, Australia, Imola, Spain, Monaco, and Azerbaijan all in a row. Those all pretty tricky tracks and sort of a bit of Marmite kind of tracks there. And then a bit more open circuits then coming up through the rest of the calendar with France, Belgium, Netherlands, less of the street. I mean, obviously, there's Russia in there as well, whether that will stay on the calendar or not, but we will not talk about politics. I don't think that's necessary. But yeah, Azerbaijan next. Thoughts on that? I mean, I know you love it, don't you?
I'm a street circuit guy, and just like Karma, kind of like him a little, just like, getting up close to the wall, but Baku in this game has become a lot more difficult for me. I found that the setups that I had been running had been very tricky to control, so it's probably dropped a little in my favourites department, but I still think it's a good track.
Yeah, I struggle with the tyre temperature. I think I enjoy Baku. I just always struggle with that tyre temperature, and I think that's what makes it tricky. That hard is, for me, undrivable around there. Take Russia off the calendar, says The Rock. I agree with you, but in the interest of not getting dug into politics, we'll just gloss over that shortly. But I agree. I think we should replace that with Russia. But we'll leave that to the powers at B. I was about to say... No, it's gone out of my head. I was going to talk corners on this track. Corners... That's what I was going to talk about. I mean, it's so many iconic corners coming. Let's ride through a lap on board with Karma here. Up the hill, bumpy, bouncy, Massine. It's such a high speed, right on the edge kind of corner, right up to the walls. You can gain so much lap time on the with the walls and the curbs. That bump, it's interesting you were saying earlier about avoiding that bump in our quality laps there. Karma choosing to go straight over it. The iconic hairpin, slowest corner on the calendar here. And then they're heading down to Portier. There's that famous moment in Jensen. No. Was it Jensen? I think it was Jensen. No, it wasn't. I think it was whoever it was, getting on two wheels and straight into the wall there. And then this Nouvelle chicane, lots of... Oh, yeah, Karma, what are you doing? Don't do that to us. Right on the edge through there to back. The most terrifying corner leading up to the swimming pool section, right on the edge through here, and these pretty nasty curbs. I absolutely love watching the cars when they show that camera angle at the swimming pool section, you know, when they stand on the inside, or in that slow-mo camera angle where the tyres get right up against the edge of the wall.
Yeah, that is a very good camera.
And when they kiss the wall there, it's just incredible. Okay, chat. Alright, chat. So, if we're taking Russia off the calendar, what are we replacing it with? Let us your thoughts. There's 15 people in the chat. I want 15 track ideas, and I want reasons as well. Reasons why that track in particular. And whilst we're doing that, I'm just going to flick up the tracks again for you there, because we have a different calendar and endurance. So don't pick one that's already on there. We've already got France, Belgium, Netherlands, Azerbaijan, Mexico, USA, Portugal, and Brazil. So a couple of big ones not on there. Silverstone, Austria, Abu Dhabi, but I hate Abu Dhabi, so that's not China. I don't mind China.
No, I agree, 100%.
although I agree, not China, but I don't mind the track. I agree. I think you could put something better in the calendar there, right?
Yeah, for sure. Well, we're missing a couple good circuits that, come on, we can add and back.
Yeah,
surely.
Go on then. I named a couple: Silverstone, Austria.
Yeah, as you said, Silverstone, Austria. I think I would probably go. I think just Silverstone. Yeah. Honestly, it's just a good circuit. Would be great to see it.
Yeah. Hey, Tent, I might just hand it over to you for just a second there. I'll be back momentarily. I just need to make a quick. Yes, you're in charge of chat.
Yay. Now, I was going to mention about Russia because it's got changed for Race Specs Tuesday and Sunday leagues. You guys had said that it's been changed to Spain, and I was super happy to see Russia being replaced, but to be replaced with Spain, I wasn't super happy. I'm just wondering most people's thoughts on Spain, like the Spanish track, because I know it's a bit of a love-hate for a lot of people. And just wondering how everyone generally feels about it. On-track actions, still just everyone's spread out, nice and consistent still, with our smallest gap only being a second, which is between Mighty Wombat and Roscoe.
Alright, well, you're a bit disappointing, chat, because all we've got so far for suggestions is not China. I think you can do a little bit better than that.
Yeah.
I wanted Austria, says Flaming Midnight. Yeah? I mean, Austria, you can't go wrong with Austria, right?
Yeah, you can't go wrong. I did ask the chat on their opinion on Spain as well, because it's being replaced, the one that's replacing Russia, so just wonder what their opinion is on it, because I know it's a bit of a love-hate for a lot of people.
Yeah, we've had Spain already.
Mm-hmm.
Spain was last week. You have short memory loss.
No, I was talking about. I mentioned
I really like Spain.
In the Tuesday.
Okay, I take that back.
Sunday on it. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, we can't do that because we had that last week there. Roscoe, you just saw some on-track action, guys. Roscoe just changed his wing, and he's onto some fresh medium tires. That's about it now for the on-track action. And back to you about which tracks we're going. Although, you know what? Let's just have a little look-see here, because Plevs, whilst we've been yattering away, Plevs is actually closing that gap on Ferrari Pro. Ferrari Pro has got mediums which are 10 laps older than Plevs. Plevs obviously has a pace advantage on those fresher medium tyre. Will we see another little bit of a... These guys have got a bit of a rivalry, Ferrari Pro and Plevs. They had a lovely battle in Imola, if you guys tuned in for that. Hustling each other all the way to the end. And yeah, that was great to watch that gap. Are we going to see something very similar happen here? I wonder. Because Plevs has got a penalty. Ferrari Pro doesn't. They're in a bit of a reverse situation this time round. I know, I'm a dummy. I realise that now. Sunday, Tuesday, Tent corrected me. But suggestions here. Austria. Yep. Anything else? I mean, Austria and Silverstone, I think, were the most obvious ones, right?
Yeah, for sure.
What's another good track? You know, when you don't have them in front of you, you can't sort of think of them.
Yeah.
I don't like Abu Dhabi, honestly. I don't see. I've seen a lot of people saying not Monza because we've already had Imola, but what's wrong with? I think Monza would be a good one, right? That's a pretty iconic track.
Yeah, I think Monza is pretty iconic. I think it's a lot of people have dropped their love of it just a little bit, just because the curb change in this game at the moment, with the curbs just being way more aggressive and difficult.
Yeah, the curb that launches you, right? Yeah. And I've just remembered Japan. What about Japan? That's an incredible track. That's a great track for racing.
I wouldn't mind seeing Singapore back in the endurance calendar after last year's chaotic one. It'd be pretty interesting to watch.
On-track action, Mighty Wombat and Trikid. I don't know where this is suddenly from. He was quite far behind, but suddenly it's just closed up. Has Trikid got damage again? I wonder. Let's have a little off-board shot. Doesn't look like it. Mighty Wombat on pure pace. Also, at the same time, this always happens. It's quiet, and then suddenly all of the action happens. Plevs, that 1 second gap now, well, is down to 1 second now with Ferrari Pro, so we could see a little bit of on-track overtaking happen here, and there's no way we're going to miss this. But, as we've seen from earlier, it's one thing to catch up to the back of the... That's not a camera angle that I want. One thing to catch up to the back. It's another thing to overtake. And, Wombat not quite close enough coming in as Sandevot. As we round off, we're starting... about to finish lap 47. Getting into the closing stages of this race. They've done a good job, these guys. Made their way through most of the race, coming into the closing stages. Just got to make it through that final stretch now, and really all over that hairpin curb is Wombat. I think he looks pretty good on this tyre at the moment, does Wombat at this stage, along with Plebs too.
Looking pretty comfortable. What height was? We're about 24 laps on each tyre, so not too sure whether the guys will be able to take the tyres all the way to the end. We might still see pit stops.
Yes, probably. You would think, right? Onto that soft tyre to finish off the... I mean, Ford's got enough of a gap to switch over if he wants to, or onto another set of mediums now, if he so chooses. He's got a large enough gap, the freedom to do what he wants. And bit of a run has Wombat through here, but again not close enough. That straight is just not long enough, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Hopefully the new cars will be able to follow a lot better. They're still yet to prove that that they're falling, but I mean preliminary suggestions from the drivers have been good, but they haven't obviously tested it in full race, any kind of racing kind of conditions. And obviously, only running the one car, they can't really use their teammates to test the dirty air, can they?
Yeah, I did see an interview from Charles Leclerc the other day talking about it, and he was just saying that, well, just from what he was saying, it sounds like it's definitely better. So, again, it's going to come down to the first race to see whether they're going to remove DRS or not, with how much slipstream they actually get.
Yeah, do you think if F1 replaces Russia with Turkey this year, that'll be in the F1 22 game? If I was working at Cody's, I would have had a few people already working on the Turkey track, because it's sort of cropping up more and more. You'd think if they were smart and prepared, they would have already put a lot of, put the groundwork into creating at least a track, because it just seems to be appearing more and more, and it would save them a bit of time later on down the line if they have to add it in, that they've already been working on it. I mean, that's a smart thing to do, right?
Yeah, I think it would just be the same way that it's happened with this game, that it will be added later on, after the game has already been released as an update.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, because we've had some good races at Turkey, and I think it'll be good fun to drive around. And good fun for league racing. Also, did you see that little bump, Mighty Wombat just giving Trikid a little bit of a nudge through that hairpin, saying, "Come on, mate, we can go a little bit quicker, I think, at this stage." Oh, he's getting a little bit sideways. Is Trikid through that swimming pool section? You just get the feeling he's starting to struggle on these tyres a little bit. Just watching from the behaviour and the movement of that car, and that'll make Wombat even more frustrated that he's just stuck behind him at the moment. With, can he get up the hill? Can he go for a move up this hill? We've seen Roscoe had a go, and now he backs out of that. He's pretty much out of energy as Wombat too, and so is Trikid. Actually, those guys are really using up their battery at this stage. And also, let's just notice that Plebs has now also decreased that gap. It had yo-yoed up over a second, but has now dropped underneath that second. So for again through that hairpin, Wombat having some superior grip through there, just pushing the Williams through. Are you keeping an eye on that Plebs and Ferrari Pro battle tent?
Yeah, I most certainly am. Just sitting here watching the battle. It's nothing's really gone off too much yet. The gap's still just slowly closing. It closes very much so into the braking zones, but is really opening up coming out.
Yeah, it seems to be. Whoa! Wombat trying to have a little bit of a look into Raskas and just has to go all the way right around. And they get through that unscathed. And I'm just going to quickly jump over to and have a look if there's any moves happening with these guys. No, the status quo has been kept. I think Trikid is definitely sort of holding Wombat up, because you can see Scotty is now starting to approach from the rear too. His AlphaTauri in the background there of the shots now starting to crop up. And yeah, he loves that line over the curb there, does Wombat through the hairpin.
Yeah, I know a lot of people take it and stuff. I don't know. It depends on my approach on whether I take it or not, really.
Roscoe in the pit lane too for a fresh set of softs. I'm sure we'll see him lighting up the timing sheets. And just in this half lap, Scotty has gained half a second on this group. So now the battle, it's going to turn into a three-way, which always makes things a little bit more. Once again, Wombat getting caught out a little bit by the early braking of Trikid coming into Raskas and having just to take a really wide entry into that. He's going to have a look, and Trikid just manages to block off the inside line, and Wombat cannot get through there. Might have to start looking at some alternate lines and alternate places to get the job done, sort of sizing up his adversary, seeing where he's a little bit slow and maybe trying to make some unconventional moves. I mean, he is getting closer and closer down into Sandevot, but just doesn't seem to really be working for him at the stage. And Scotty, has now caught up to this back of this pack. That's definitely going to make things a bit more interesting. And Wombat's going to have to watch more backwards than forwards also, because well, I'm sure Scotty will sit there, sort of size up the battle that's happening. He doesn't have to worry too much from behind, and sort of just see how this battle develops between these two guys. Will they make a mistake? Can he sort of seize an opportunity? And just Wombat having to take that sort of wider entry into Raskas. Ooh, Trikid getting a little bit wild on the exit of the last corner, getting a good run, but not close enough. Is he going to look for a move now up the hill? And the red light is blinking for Trikid heading up the hill, but it's just so easy to position the car. Yellow flag. Who's that? Silderfort. What's happened here? He's heading into the pit lane. Oh, it's just a bit of a disaster day for Silderfort. Spending a lot of time in that pit lane. New front wing for him. And he'll be going off on his way again.
Yeah, now something I have noticed in this Plebs Ferrari battle, Ferrari's been having his red light blinking for the last couple laps, but unfortunately he just uses it on that DRS straight, and he just physically can't catch him, and then yeah, nothing he can do. But these two are actually catching up to that pack of Scotty, uh, Combat Wombat, and Trickard, so we're gonna have some blue flags.
Indeed, indeed, indeed. I think the ghosting's on, so it shouldn't trouble them too much. And there they come now. What a battle! There's both the battles on track are happening in the same. Scotty lets him through. Scotty lets him through pretty early on there. See, it can be quite tactical when you choose to let the guys through. The gaps are really opened up now due to that blue flag. And yeah, it's what are you for blue flags or against blue flags?
Well, see, it's a bit tricky to say at the end of the day with it. I think safety-wise, I think I'd be for it and everything in actual F1, but probably for around here, I'd also have to say, yeah, I think it just needs to be done. Even if they're ghosted, just that car moving in and out, if it can just be too major of a distraction, especially around the track.
I mean, I think if they got rid of, I understand obviously why they're there, and I don't necessarily disagree with them, but it sure would spice things up if blue flags are not a thing. That would just throw an extra element into those front runners who would have to worry about. I mean, as well, you don't want to see a battle for the lead get ruined by blue flags as Wombat heads into the pit lane there. I think he's going to be doing something similar with the soft tyres. Oh, he's got a front wing change too, so must have picked that up.
I've already... Oh, and Pleb's having a little look.
Up the top of the hill. That would have been a bit of a... Up through Massenet. Yeah, big lock-up from the Ferrari driver. Ferrari Pro. Another one. Just lock-ups left, right and centre. Pleb's pretty much just pushing him through that hairpin section. Those gaps now, due to the pit stops, have sort of opened up a little bit around that P5, P6, P7. And that's actually put Roscoe is right up on the back of Marty Wombat after that pit stop. Definitely in play here for a good finish. And let's talk about points a little bit, where these guys are sitting in terms of points. Obviously, both Aston Martins and both AlphaTauris, the only two teams, and Ferrari too. Obviously, Roscoe is a reserve. The only three teams to have both cars still in the race, so they'll be getting a good haul of points today. And what I'll do for you as well is I'll pull up the standings just so you can have a look at where our current standings are. It's all I mean, obviously with Ford in the lead and quite a clear advantage, you know, it's going to extend that lead as it currently stands. Sorry, no, he won't extend the lead. There'll be a change for the lead in terms of the standings, as Ford will be picking up some good haul of points after, well, should he finish P1. And wow, Pleb's having a little bit of a late look into the Nouvelle chicane. I'm not sure what he was trying to achieve by that, because very late. I don't know if he just got caught out by the Ferrari braking a little bit early.
Yeah, I'd assume that he just got caught out a little bit. At least there wasn't any contact there, and both guys are still good to go.
Yeah, some good points for those guys. If they make it to the end at this stage in these positions. And yeah, Scotty has now caught back up to the back of Trikid, so take two for the overtake on him is Ferrari Pro. I think that's a very tricky corner that going into Miraba. They're downhill, Camerden corner, very easy to lock that front left and just and it's not too bad because you're not going too quick and the lockups aren't too huge. But just obviously doing that every lap as the Ferrari is doing at this stage is not ideal for the tyre life. But I can't imagine they'll be pushing any records in terms of Ferrari. Yeah, there's Plevs just touching the wall a little bit through to back. I doubt he'll have taken any kind of damage from such a gentle touch there. But you don't want to be doing that too often. Yeah, Ford just extending his lead, especially with these guys battling out. I'd not be surprised if he comes in for a set of soft tyres or something and attempts the fastest lap. And then you can have a look at the fastest laps currently. Mighty Wombat there holding 11.5 on those fresh softs, so I'm starting to get back down to... Whoa, Ford's just picked up a 3-second penalty. I don't think it's anything too much to stress about, but yeah.
We're doing very well at the moment. Still no safety cars in this race. And again, for those boys that underfield looking for that safety car, probably hoping that there's still going to be one.
Yeah, that would be a bit of a disaster, wouldn't it? Running out of fuel. I mean, obviously, you know, depending where you are or in the field, don't want to be fighting a close battle with someone and then running out of fuel in the closing stages of the race. That would be an absolute disaster. And yeah, these guys still battling. And let's just pick up on the fact now we've only got 2 drivers now without any penalties, that being Ferrari Pro and Trikid. I mean, we usually see Ford and Plevs are usually the guys who manage to keep it penalty free, and they've got penalties, so props to the 2 drivers penalty free at this stage of the race. And under 20 laps to go, so it should be just a 1 stint of whatever tyre they choose. Pro 46 laps on those mediums. Uh-oh, that's still default. What's happened there? Just losing his carbon fibre on the road on that bump, maybe the exit of Casino, I would imagine, around the bump. Yeah, it's missing. Whoa, right over that curb. Just bring it home safely. It's a bit tricky, especially with round to back with that damaged front wing. Plev's still got that half-second gap. Still stuck behind Ferrari, and what do you reckon? Is there? That's what I was about to say. You reckon? Oh, he picked up a 10-second penalty to Silver for corner cut. That's what I was just saying with that lack of front wing. Just got to be careful. I presume he just cut that Novell chicane and just slam dunked him a 10-second. But you reckon these guys going to the end? I'd imagine Ferrari Pro is not going to pit.
I can't exactly imagine that they... I mean, only 18 laps left. If they would have pitted, I would have thought they would have pitted a bit earlier. But yeah, so maybe they're all thinking they're going to take it to the end.
Well, I don't think Ferrari Pro can't quit, because I think he just gives away P3 to Plevs then, really. Unless he pits now, goes to the soft and tries to make it back up on track, but then conceding track position, although Plevs does have a 3-second penalty, so he doesn't need track position to gain the place. But yeah, you wouldn't want to throw track position away really at this track in particular, would you now?
Nah, for sure not. It'll be interesting. I'm not too sure how many warnings he's got. I might.
For Ferrari.
Yeah. Not too sure how many warnings he's got. I might have a quick little squiz.
Yeah, have a look and see for us. Not to say that he's not going to get another one, or he might get another one, but just hypothesizing there. Can those laps go to the end? That's the real question as well.
Yeah, he's sitting on 2 warnings, so even if he does go to the softs, how hard is he wanting to push?
Well, he's gonna have to push a whole pit stop. That's the thing, really. With 17 laps, left, can you do a pit stop and gain all that track back up on track time with fresh softs? That's the question he's got to ask himself. But I think he's pretty happy with that position, barring any other circumstances, and he'll want to hold track position because he's got the penalty to hold over Plebs at the moment, and Scotty having a bit of a slide around the exit the swimming pool section. This other battle happening on track at the moment. I don't want to take away too much. Plebs is looking for a move up the hill. Around the outside of Massenet. Can he do it? Oh, yes, he keeps it in there. Oh, no, that's the front. Oh. I saw that happening. I saw there was hesitation. Plebs didn't know if he wanted to go for that move down at a casino. You don't want to go for a move at casino, but then Ferrari left the door open for him. Plebs last minute decided to go in, but by that point the door was closing and it was too late. I think I'm gonna. I don't think that was. Well, let's have a look at the replay if it actually saved this time. And yeah, so we see Plebs running up the hill. He gets a good run round the outside. I mean, good job holding it round Massenet, and he sort of stops and he goes. Oh, and yeah. Oh. It's never gonna work, really, is it? Down the inside of casino. I mean, that's just. He could argue Ferrari Pro should have left some room for him, but they're pitted, and of course that has allowed Ferrari Pro to pit that gap. Plebs having to change his wing. I wonder. Yeah, we'll see what happens, but yeah, a bit of a risky move down casino.
Yeah. I was going to mention that incident is just giving Ferrari that free pit stop that he wanted.
Yeah, indeed it has. And that sort of left him in the clear for this leaving on track battle here with Scotty. I wonder. Let me just try something whilst we've got it. If I do this, we can watch this. Let's have a look at this again. So Plebs goes around the outside up the hill. He's got the good run on Massenet, and then he sort of backs out, but then goes in a bit more. And I mean, I'm not sure that Ferrari. You can see a wiggle of the wheel from Plebs there.
Yeah.
A bit annoyed with that, but I'm not sure that Ferrari Pro could have really. I don't think he was anticipating Plebs to stay on the inside, because he would have seen the arrows, and Plebs would have dropped back a little bit, and then in the braking zone he sort of made a little bit of a move and a bit of a lunge. And Scotty, we're going to see a move here around the outside of Sandevot. No, there's that wall on the outside, and it sort of narrows the track. And Trikid taking the straight line into Sandevot, but why have we got a yellow flag here? I had a feeling this was going to happen. I believe Ferrari Pro has conceded the position to Plebs for that move. Now, I don't think he had to. I think that was a bit of an incident that should have probably been left to the stewards, but Ferrari Pro is a very sportsman-like driver, and he conceded the position to Plebs there, and Roscoe should have left that much space on rude Billy Lacey. I don't disagree with you there. I think Roscoe was maybe on the edge of the limits of control of his car. I think he went a little bit too deep into Massenet, understeered, and that's what happened there. So, yes, you could definitely say that. I think Roscoe was at fault in that incident, and which I have to say it was great driving from those two up the hill side by side and going too wide through Massenet. Some great driving from Ferrari Pro not to do the same thing that happened with Roscoe going a little bit wide. It would have been so easy for him to run a bit wide. And I could have given maybe a bit of a squeeze to Plebs on the outside, but yeah, but putting that nose into casino. What do you think, Tent? What's your take on that one?
Alright, look, he was side by side with him the whole time there. I think I think that he had the right for the room there on the corner, and I think Ferrari just seemed to come across just a little bit too much, not give him enough room. They just kind of bumped and ended up pushing him up onto that curb and broke his front wing. I think it was a bit. I think it was unfortunate. I don't agree with the move. I think that it was a pretty silly move to try and make, and yeah. But at the end of the day, I think Plebs was there, and the room should have been given.
Scotty into the pits. That's a bit of a surprise. Oh, Mr. I did not realise Billy Lacey. Apparently, Billy Lacey is rude. How rude of you to not mention earlier, Billy Lacey. Well, now I see where you're coming from there with that comment. Sorry, just before we go on to that, Scotty in the pits there must have been some damage because that was a bit of an odd pit stop, and Wombat all over the back of Trikid all over again. He's stuck behind that Williams again and pushing him through the hairpin. So a bit of a deja vu, and it's turning into a bit of a nightmare for Wombat stuck behind this Williams. But yes, I think we saw that from that wing damage with the Rude there, with Roscoe, and yeah, I think it was he did just understeer through Massenet. It's tricky. It's just tricky. It's a high-speed corner coming up the top of that brim, the hill, and yeah, tricky to go side by side in there. Obviously, I'm sure you'll be submitting that to the stewards to have a look at, and they'll make the correct and best decision, as they are the stewards, and that's what they are there for. We are just the mere humble commentators, and we gesticulate and hypothesize and opinionate on whoopsie Wombat outbreaking himself a little bit. He's on those fresh softs, Trikid on those old mediums, just getting caught out, I think, in that braking zone by just how little the pace difference. And I really hope that Wombat did not take damage from that, because it would be a shame to see the end of this battle from that little contact. And we also got that Ferrari Pro has caught up to the back of Plevs. And whilst I was yammering, he's picked up a 3-second penalty. So, I mean, that's really made that battle for position. They've got to make that on-track pass there for the position. So, if Ferrari Pro can make the pass on track, I mean, well, all props to him. And can try and keep an eye on these. This is confusing because I shifted seal the forts on the wet tyre. Did he?
What?
What happened to Ferrari Pro just then? I was looking at that wet tyre and he just seemed to stop then through to back. That was odd.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. Maybe he just lost the rear of the. Oh, he's pitting.
Oh no, has he got damage? That's we've been robbed of another battle. That is an absolute disaster. What is Silderfort doing on those wet tyres? I hope this doesn't cause any kind of silly incident here, because it's going to ruin the race for some of these guys, especially now they're coming up to him too. Wombat's just dropped off a little bit off the of Trikid. This is confusing. We've got Plevs lapping, the Silderfort being lapped. There's lappings happening here, and they're just sorting themselves out now through the hairpin, and it's back to somewhat normality. But Trikid's had a poor run. Oh no, he's overturned into the wall. I really hope that the end plates look intact for Wombat, so hopefully that front wing in the last couple of laps has taken a bit of a battering on that Aston Martin. It must be made of some strong stuff, because he's still going and not pitting for a change. I hope Silderfort is going to be coming in to change his tyre and get off that wet tyre, because it's just going to get in the way, especially if he does something accidental into a wall. Yeah, Wombat in the tunnel there, just getting a little bit of a little bit wide. There's a bit of front wing lodged into, bit of the Alpine's front wing lodged into the inside as he overdoes it. He's getting all hot under the collar. Okay, Silderfort's on the inters now. Is that possible? to
Uh,
if you run out of tires, or is he just having a bit of a mess around?
uh, like he shouldn't have all these tires fully gone by now. Like he'll have a couple pairs that aren't super bad. I think he might be just having a bit of fun and
Well, I mean,
yeah.
the problem is it's a tight circuit,
Mhm.
and if he gets involved in some kind of incident or something like that,
Mhm.
then it's going to really mess it up for the other guys. So Silderfort, yeah, maybe just go back to some slicks, please.
Yeah.
We don't want to see any kind of impeding happening here with some of the other guys.
Yeah.
Can Wombat get past up the hill here? We've seen 2 people go for this move around Massenet already, and we've almost seen as many moves around Massenet as we have in all the other parts of the track. But yeah, just can't quite get through. And let's take a look at this replay again, one more time, and have another little look at this replay with going up the hill here. It's this part here. So he has a bit of a run, but then he loses the run. Ferrari Pro actually is just in front, but then because I don't know if Ferrari Pro breaks early or Plevs just sends it a bit more down the inside, but then he gets that overlap, doesn't he, into the corner.
Yeah.
But
Just wonder whether he loses that run just because because he's on the inside line.
Yeah,
Out of the corner. He
compromise.
just get that bit extra, and then yeah.
But you could argue, but by the point that Plevs' overlap, Ferrari's already sort of turning into that corner. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see the steward's report from the steward's decision from that one. I mean,
Yeah.
Ferrari has really lost out from that. He sort of conceded the position to Plevs, which was very sportsmanlike of him, but probably completely unnecessary, I would say, because now he's sitting. I mean, of course, he had to pay for that damage, but he's now sitting 20 seconds off of Plevs. Maybe he should have just let the stewards take care of that. And I think if it was not a street circuit, then sort of conceding that position wouldn't have been as bad. But on a street circuit, it's a bit tricky to do that kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, as you said, it will be interesting to see the result from the stewards with that incident, just to kind of see which way they go.
Dare I ask the chat what they think of this incident after we've seen it quite a few times. And Silverfort, I think, has gone off and around in Sector 2. Can I get a good camera angle of this? Yep, right there. That's Silverfort in the wall. Unfortunately, he was on the soft tyres also. He'd finally changed the slicks and gone round. He'd managed to keep it with their wet tyres. Currently, no news of a safety. Isn't that odd? No news of virtual or a safety car, and the car is parked.
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't know what Michael Massey's doing, but I would have been hitting that safety car button straight away. Probably even a red. No, it would definitely be a red flag.
Yeah, for sure. Michael, what are you doing?
Yeah.
But looks like the marshals have supreme skills around here, and they managed to just crane that car out within a few seconds. So good job on the marshals around here. We know there's some of the most elite marshals on the calendar, those at Monaco. So good job for them. And this battle still going on between Mighty Wombat and Trikid. Will Mighty Wombat ever get past this Williams? And conversely, you have to argue what an excellent job Trikid is doing on 53 old medium tyres. He is he's holding that Aston Martin up. He's held it up. He's had a pit stop. He's gone on a fresh soft tyres, and he's still holding that Williams up. Tinsel Winsel in the chat. Shout out for Mighty Wombat. We're cheering him on too, but we're also cheering on the excellent job that Trikid is doing on those old medium tyres. Yeah, just cannot find a way through. coming into the final stages of this race now. Just a few laps left, and you know what's a shock? No safety car.
That's what I've been thinking. I've just sitting going, how? How is there not been a safety car around a track that you would just be like, of course there's going to be one.
Yeah, crazy. And I mean, we haven't really had that many incidents considering. We had 5 drivers retire. That's only 10 left, but we only started with 15. So I think everyone's done a fantastic job today around this tricky circuit. I mean, 100% around Monaco. 50% is difficult enough. 100%. These guys, their eyes are going to be tired after Sojourn. Are we going to see a move now round the outside? Mighty Wombat gets... Oh, no! Oh! Too wide.
Surely that's a
he's
safety
stuck.
car.
Oh no, it's the Austin Powers. The Austin Powers going up the hill on the exit of Saint Devot. Oh, Mighty Wombat. Side by side round the outside. I mean... Oh, that's a disappointing end with only a couple of laps left for the Aston Martin driver. Oh, that is an absolute disaster. No front wing.
You know what I reckon? I reckon we need a replay.
We need a... Well, I... Guess what, guys? Oh, no, I only caught the end of that. That's an absolute disaster. I did press it earlier, so I'm not sure why it's not captured the end of it, but we'll get that replay up again. Yeah, unfortunately, I've only got that bit. I've only got the scene of the action and then the Austin Powers around again. So, unfortunately. But, yeah, that's an absolute disaster. Yeah, Marty Wombat was in front. Well, not from that angle, he wasn't at that point. Yeah, that'll be another one for the stewards to look at there. Definitely, Trikid probably should have left some room around there. It's a street circuit. He wasn't going to go anywhere. I mean, the car's not going to disappear, is he? And Mighty Wombat's not just going to disappear around the outside of that corner. I think he most likely had enough overlap. Well, it does look like he had enough overlap there. He had half a car. And like I said, he's not going to disappear. It's a street circuit. There's walls. You kind of need to leave maybe a little bit more room through there. But, yeah. At least he's still in the race. Both Aston Martin's still in the race. And, yeah, a couple of positions down, you know. But most important thing, he's still in this race. Still a decent points haul there. With the closing laps coming in, let's just have a little look at Karma, who, I mean, we're supposed to be following him this weekend, but he's, you know what, he's been a little quiet, just quietly lapping away on his own. He's had a good gap behind him, in front of him, not much to say, but he's doing a solid job here in P4. Obviously starting in P3, but I still think that's going to be a strong finish for him.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I'd take P4 any day, to be honest. But yeah, no, a decent result at the end of the day.
Yeah, it is a bit hard to tell from that angle. Unfortunately, didn't quite catch the start of that. I'm not sure why, but that's all we got. Unfortunately, yeah, and we haven't had a chance to chat to him either because we haven't had a safety car, so we haven't been able to hear his thoughts. We might get him in at the end of this race, and just get him to tell us a little bit about how things went. But yeah, all these gaps have massively opened up now after our single on-track battle has disappeared. But look at these guys, 57 laps with Trikid and 54 laps with Karma. And you know what that says? That says that they've had over 50 laps incident-free because they've been on those laps. So I think that's the real, like,
yeah,
the real amazing thing from that, as Ford is just starting the final lap of this race. Unfortunately, we're not doing interviews here, Karth, at Endurance. but we'll definitely have to get a chat with those guys at some point in the future. What we're doing here is we're doing a driver interview every race. We're getting a new driver in the com box and having a chat with them, and sort of learning a little bit about them, and following their progress through the race. And so we'll be looking out for our next interviewee for next week. Yeah, I'm sure it will be a heated conversation. As Ford is coming around the last couple of laps, he touches a wall there a little bit. It doesn't look like any damage. I'm sure that's probably one of the few touches he's had with the wall. Comes around the final lap, and look at him weaving, happy to finish this race. P1, pretty much a whole lap ahead of second place. So we're going to be sitting here waiting a little bit for these guys to come round, as there's a lap to also being finishing. Scotty there finishing in P5. Let's just bring the penalties up. This is happening here. Scotty finishing in P5, Trike in P6, Roscoe in P7. There's a double 2 laps down. Jay's in P9. Some going to be some strong points finishes across the board for these guys, with the AlphaTauris, the Aston Martins, and the Ferraris finishing in the points today.
Yeah, again, even though some of the Blues might have not had the best race ever, they're still going to get decent points.
Yeah, let's bring Karma into the chat. Hey, Karma, how are you doing? Sorry, I'm just going to bust straight in there and interrupt your conversation. How are you going? How was that?
I'm
tired?
hungry. I'm so hungry. My dinner got given to me an hour ago. It's been sitting next to me the whole time.
Oh, no.
It's been horrible.
But congratulations on the P4 there. That's I know you started in P3, but I mean, to bring it home is good job.
Cheers to that. I did 40 laps with damage. That's why I was a bit slow. I had front wing damage, and I just didn't want to pit.
Yeah.
Just in case something happened, which it did, but I was too far back anyway, so...
Yep. No safety cars. What?
No safety car and no VSC, so I don't know what the hell's going on.
Yeah,
so...
I think there's something dodgy going on here. I think we need to call Michael up and ask him what happened there, because it's another Mercedes driver
give him the
finishing on the
boot.
podium there.
Give him the boot. My shoulders are so sore.
Oh, I bet they are. I mean, 50% is bad enough, but 100% around here.
I think I did 55 laps on the mediums. So...
Yeah, that's pretty impressive, I have to say.
Yeah, they only got to 40%.
Wow, okay. So plenty of life in those tyres. So, unfortunately we didn't get to talk to you too much because of that.
I did say that what happens if there's no safety cars, so...
Well, then we'll grab you in at the end and give you a little bit of a lowdown after that. But right. Happy with that. I mean, you got your top 5 that you were sort of aiming for.
Yeah, I said top 5 and I got 4th. But yeah, no, I'm quite happy with that. I finished a lap down. I was very worried at one point. I was going to run out of fuel.
Mm-hmm.
But then I realised I was going to finish a lap down anyway, so it didn't matter.
Well, there you go. Well, thanks for jumping on with us anyways, even though we didn't get to talk to you too much, but we did catch some of your moments on track as well, which is good. So, thanks for... And also, congratulations on being our first driver to finish off to complete a full hot lap whilst commentating on it.
Thanks. My first quali lap was the one that went through, so it didn't really matter, so it was alright.
Yeah, there you go. Well, you can parade that in the chat. You can tell all those guys that have been abusing me in the chat that you've gone and done that now.
Yeah, well, chat, stop talking shit.
You tell him. Alrighty, well, once again, thanks for tuning in with us, Karma, and thanks for commentating with me, Tent-Sandles. It's been a pleasure as usual. And I'll leave. So we'll see you all next week in Azerbaijan, I guess. Any final words, Tim?
Yeah, but as you said, Baku next week. Hopefully no safety car as well. Come on, let's go back to back.
Yeah, let's do back to back, guys. Back to back, no safety cars. That's your challenge. Okay, we'll see you next time. Same time.